Hey, Colin, what's the difference between a rapier and a side sword?
I'm very glad you asked that, random student standing behind the camera. You see, a lot of people would say, well, this one's a rapier and this one's a side sword. They might even say, well, the rapier has a thinner, longer blade, but the side sword has a thicker, wider blade. This one also has a complex hilt, or at least more complex than, say, this one. It's just got a ring. But what's the real difference? Definitely totally different weapons that were used in totally different periods. No, they're the same. They're the same. They're the same. While we would classify these two weapons as completely different, do you know what they would call these in the 16th century and the 17th century? Sword. They would call this one sword and this one sword. The classifications are just stuff we made up. This is a sword, this is a sword. And while we would say, oh, this one looks a little bit more early period, might be a side sword, this one looks a little bit later period, might be a rapier, the truth is they're just swords. So really, it's just down to personal preference. If you like this type of a sword, you would use this type of a sword. But if you liked this type of a sword, you would use this type of the sword.